your girl InDaynaMo, and welcome back to my Taglish channel. Hello guys, how are you all on either side of the universe? So guys, good morning Jax.
Good morning, InDaynaMo.
So, ngayon kakalabas lang namin, kaka-check out lang namin sa hotel namin today. Time now is 9:20. So, that's our check out dito sa ating The Osmond Motel and Apartment na nakita nyo na ni-room tour ko kayo for a few days. Nagstay kami dyan for 3 days. And today, we are heading to where, Jax?
Monarto Zoo, which is kind of between Murray Bridge and Adelaide itself. So it's like a free-range zoo similar to Werribee. So the animals, I don't think are in individual, also like pens. They're sort of like in a paddock and more sort of like spread out. So I think it's a hop on, hop off bus. So you sort of jump on the bus, you go around, and then you get off where you want to, look around, and then you jump back on the bus to go to the next sort of area. So first time I've been here, obviously the first time InDaynaMo has been here. And right now we're just on our way out of Adelaide. I just need to fuel up shortly, and then we'll be driving all the way there, which is only about 45 minutes from where we were on the south side of the city, so it's not too far away either. So, ayan guys.
Bulaga! So, ayun na nga. So, today we are going to Monarto.
That is correct. Monarto. So, Monarto.
So, Monarto. So, this is my first time na pumunta doon. Is this your first time, Jax?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I haven't been there either.
So, ayun na nga guys. Titingnan natin. And we are going to explore inside Monarto's. Is it Safari Zoo? Monarto Zoo?
Yeah, it could be Monarto Zoo, but I'm not too sure if there's any words before it.
So guys, what are we waiting for? Happy watching! Bulaga! So ayan na guys, nandito na tayo sa Monarto Safari Park dito sa South Australia, guys. So,
yeah, it's
ayan.
not too far from Murray Bridge.
So you can see how beautiful is the clouds for today. And then ayun sila, guys. So ayun yung parking lot. They have a spacious parking lot here. You can see. So I think they have like a bus trip and then concession, family, depends. So, ito, may drop-off zone sila. You can see here too. So, kakarating lang namin guys. Looks like there's a lot of people for today na naka-queue doon sa labas. And, nakita nyo, Monarto Safari. So, we are now, so, we get our tickets here.
Oh.
No, you're incorrect.
Okay.
That's a cheche. Okay guys, so we just through the gate and then we have a mass. Hey, here the mass. Show you the mass. So this is mandatory when you go inside the bus.
Okay.
So bus
no
is departing every 20 minutes. So you can see here. We're going back. Sa cafe here. Bus. There we go. Explore the park on foot or hop on the shuttle bus.
So guys, we are gonna walk from number 1 to number 6 to the left.
Yeah, there.
Where the lions are.
Lions. Not cheetah.
There's free range emus.
Not cheetah.
So we have emus to the left.
So you can walk here and then you can catch the bus, but every 15 minutes is the depart. So you need to walk instead of waiting.
Like
so
Philippine toes.
So you can see the cheetah. Ay, cheetah. Emu. So they have pathways here. You can view the amazing animals by exploring the 12 kilometers of walking trails or by hopping on the shuttle bus for a guided tour of the park. We don't have food. Oh, they are pair. So this is the return to the visitor center. Yeah.
What's up, guys? We're walking straight. See, so
I said you can catch a bus or you can walk.
malaking pusa.
What malaking pusa?
Yeah, there's lions coming up, I think.
Where?
Oh, like at the next stop.
What is that they can walk freely?
No, they'll be in their own pen. Usually these free-range zoos, they have a pen just for the lions because they may decide to eat a zebra or something.
Now they.
So usually the dangerous animals are like by themselves. Well, emus are native to Australia, so
Emu is fine. It's
I don't think
fair.
it's just African animals. I think there might be kangaroos.
You see them? It's a pair.
Oh yeah, 2 pairs make 4.
4. They said, look, watch out because there's a snake here.
Yeah, possibly. But I'm not sure about now because it's not that hot. It's not
You
like
don't know.
summer hot. It's only, I think, low 20s today. I'm assuming, yeah, that's the major. That'll be the path for the bus, and then we go straight ahead and then to the left. Yeah, there's a bus up there to the left there.
Ah, I see.
But I think there's, I haven't got the map on me, but
Map is here at the
pens are
back.
over there. I think the lions are over there, and there's something else as well. Usually at the bus stop, I'll have the map of
You go
what it is.
picture there, okay?
I am. Yeah, we went around.
So that's a bus lane, guys. So the small path is for the human.
Around and does a loop or something. Or it probably comes up from that way, goes around, and then goes.
Why they don't have enough bus? Be surprised if
I think they do it every 15 minutes. It's only because at the very beginning they're only doing one bus at a time, so over the day people separate out, and then 15 minutes isn't so bad because there won't be like here. There's only like 2 people waiting for a bus.
yeah,
So
but
the
people
maximum
will not
like-
drop here.
I know, this is why I recommended coming to this stop here. It's because it means that if we're waiting for a bus, we won't have to wait. If we went with everyone else to stop number 2, then everyone's going to be waiting for the next bus. It's like you're stuck with the same group of people, so if you spread out, spread the people out. So I think you still take us to the lions, and to the right I think is the next track if you want to walk it to the other place.
Okay guys, so we are on our second stop.
Yeah, so we have
Windana.
lions, dogs, hyenas, viewing platform.
Yeah, which is the Lion Dogs Hyena and View platform, 150 meters, a visitor center and a lookout. So this is the area when you catch up second bus, second drop off. You hear that, guys? Something good. So here we are here in Windana platform, guys, the circle one, and then later we are going to.
We just got there and you go to the lookout platform, and then I think you can see all 3 of them.
Yeah. Smoke free, you cannot smoke here, guys. So it's a good for family friendly, children, groups. So carnivore shuttle.
So I think the carnivore shuttle is if you're, you can pay extra, and I think they take you into the lion's pen, and then you go into like a cage, and then the lions will jump on top of a cage within it. There you go, do not long, so into here.
You push with your elbow on your hips.
Too big here.
Yeah, but it's just small. No too big.
Buck here.
Not all is okay. Oh, so that's, oh, the bus is there.
Yeah, that's and then I think that might be the other shuttle there, because it's a smaller bus.
So they can go like that there. Because they're wild. Maybe they want.
I'm saying this looks like there's a hotel or someone going up in the distance there. But you see the cage down the bottom there. That's like the Lion 360. So the car like backs off and you go inside the cage and then the lion's trying to get you.
Look at that, guys. We're in an open range.
One line between you.
Left or right?
Yeah. Well, it's all up here. This is all like one area. So you can see a lion butt over there. This is the lion area. Oh, there's the
there's a two there. Look at that, guys. It's a what? Oh, look at that. How many lion is that? There, too.
There's two females on top of the cage there.
How you know it's female?
Hasn't got a mane. Oh, there's two more there as well.
Oh, female. Yeah, there's another two there. And there's three here. You see? That's the lions. 3, 2, and 1. They're one king. Then another one there. Just don't point. So the bus can go here?
Yeah, this was the park.
Ah.
So there's a male bull boy over there.
Yeah.
Well, I saw another one closer, but
They're on the stone there. Somewhere there on the stone.
yeah.
You see that brownish one? The one in the stone.
There's more females there.
I think that's the king lion, the one on the side. So it's an African lion, guys. African lion is the lion pose. Help relax your body. It imitates how a lion sits on the ground and opens their big wide jaws. Do this pose and relax your body and calm. Here the bus.
Three there, two there,
Okay, we go to the other side. African wild dogs spotted the hyenas. So we will go at African painted dog. Oh, look at that one. Where are they?
Can you see anything?
No, they said African painted dogs. Oh, looks like it's a woofy but different ears.
Yeah, they got like big ears.
Like a mouse. I don't see them.
So they're meant to look like this. So they got the big ears on top. But I mean, it's a big pen, so.
Where are they?
There might be the kennel there.
Oh, they have like a voltage 0.
I don't know if they're in a very far distance up there, but.
Oh, that one. The something is moving there. Is that tree there? It's jumping.
Oh yeah, there's something at very far distance there. See if we can zoom in. It's probably a big ask. You might see a lot more when we're on the bus. Actually, I think the bus goes through this area.
Yeah, I think basket.
Very far.
Spotted one too.
So guys, I think we're in that very far pen up there. All the way up there, I think they are. So we say, como está? When on the bus to them. Later. So that's the bus stop there. If we went for the bus. I'm not sure. I recommended we go to walk to the number 6, and then when the bus comes around here, we will be already on it. So, yes, that's the number 1 bus stop there. We jump on the bus, and that's the walking track there.
Safari Park, which is the largest open-air safari park outside of Africa, here in Adelaide. Largest open-air safari park. Yay, Adelaide. And today we're travelling on the lands of the Ngarrindjeri Nation, so wish to pay our respects to those elders past and present. So when I said that Monarto Safari Park is the largest open-air safari park, what that means is that we are 1,500 hectares. So imagine every zoo in Australia, pick it up, plonk it here, there'll still be land left over. Now you may notice that I'm not wearing a mask. Under the COVID safe plan, if I was to have a mask, you're not going to hear me, and I'm far enough away from you. But everybody else has to have a mask on unless you've got an exemption, and that mask has to be over your nose and over your mouth. And I can see you all. So if I keep reminding and looking at you, you know what I'm on about. And quite seriously, we have to do it as part of being able to be open to the public. Fair enough? Now, who's first time to Monarto? Yours. A few people down the back. Well, welcome. And yours too, young lady. Great. Any members on the bus? Welcome back. So, we are going to be heading towards our first bus stop, which will be the Cheetah bus stop. We've got a lot of bus stops. You are welcome to get off at each bus stop. And 20 minutes later, there'll be another bus that will pick you up and take you back or further into the park. So the buses go every 20 minutes. The last bus today leaves the visitor centre at 5 minutes to 3. If you get off the bus on the 5 minute to 3 bus, you've got a long way to walk back. But we do have 14 kilometres of walking track. So you are welcome to walk through our beautiful park on the walking tracks, and the park shuts at 5 o'clock. In terms of some other information, the keeper talks for this afternoon are the Cheetah. So when you get back to the visitor centre, you can take a short walk to the Cheetah bus stop. It's about a 20-minute walk, and that talk will be at 2:10. Or the other talk is with the chimpanzees, and that's at 2:30 today, where the keeper will give the chimpanzees some afternoon tea. They'll give you a talk, and that's lots of fun, and then you come back and you get on the last bus of the day. But if you don't want to do any of that, you're welcome to get off, and I'll point it out to you at the outpost, and you can get off that bus stop and see the chimpanzees, the meerkats, the porcupines and the yellow-footed rock wallabies. How am I going with information so far? So far so good? Good, excellent. Anybody's birthday on the bus today? Any kids' birthdays? No? Okay, alright. So this is our first bus stop. It's the Cheetah platform bus stop. Would anybody like to hop off at this bus stop and go to the Cheetah platform? Or are you wanting to stay on the bus to the next bus stop? Show of hands, anybody wanting to get off? No hands, Matt.
What about feet?
That's a bit harder on these buses. I've got 4 seats, so every bus stop has toilet facilities, but whilst you're on the bus you're encouraged to drink water, but you need to save all your other snacks and everything to when you hop off the bus.
Can I just ask something?
Yes, please. I like questions because it saves me talking. Go for it.
I'm just wondering, not there having been here before, if you don't get off at the stops, are you going to drive around and possibly not see any animals? Or you have to get
So
off
the lady
stops?
said, do you need to get off at every stop or do you miss out on seeing the animals? No. You can sit on the bus, you're going to see animals. Trust me, you are going to see animals. What I'm suggesting is if you want to get off at the bus stops, you may, for example, have a closer look at the Waterhole bus stop of the giraffes. If you get off at the outpost, you have to get off there to go and visit the chimpanzees. You will not see the chimpanzees from the bus. You won't see the meerkats from the bus. You won't see the porcupine. But then there's no guarantee you will see the porcupine because Rita is very, very shy and she only comes out in training. So I can't guarantee you'll see the porcupine, but you'll definitely see the chimpanzees. And they, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are hilarious. If you think you're going to be there for 10 minutes, trust me, you'll be there for at least half an hour. They've got an indoor area that's all air conditioned, and then they've got a great big outdoor area, and they really do keep you amused. The only enclosure you can walk through is the yellow-footed rock wallaby enclosure, and I'll point that out to you a little bit later. So we are going to be coming up to see our first animal that's going to be on the door side here, and that is going to be an animal that is actually a species that is extinct in the wild. So you will never see this animal in the wild, and it is the Scimitar-Horned Oryx. So we got our herd from a private zoo that was closing down. We are breeding from them, and then we are re-releasing them into a conservation park called Chad. And there they are up there having their lunch. You may get a closer view of them when you go up to visit the chimpanzees because they're at the back of the chimpanzee enclosure. They've got great big horns for chimpanzees. This is where you hop off the bus, you walk down that path over there, you'll go past the meerkats, you'll go past the yellow-footed rock wallaby enclosure that you can actually walk through, and then you can go and see the chimpanzees. There's also the meerkats here. So would some people like to hop off? Yep, a few people. Thanks, Matt. Asian steppe, and then into the African plains. Have you all been to see the chimpanzees?
Yes.
How fun? No, we're going to have to by the end of the day. You might have to. This is the bus stop that you get off for the chimpanzees. So when the bus gets back to the visitor centre, you may want to catch another bus back out here. How good were the chimpanzees?
They were sulking.
They were sulking? Oh, wonder what they were sulking about.
Oh, they didn't tell us either.
Oh dear. Normally they're lots of fun. This is the only in habitat that you can walk through of the yellow-footed rock wallaby, so you can walk through there. We may see some as we drive by. Can we see them? No, they might be having an afternoon siesta. Okay, we're going to be coming up to our first habitat, and this is going to be Przewozki's horses. And these horses and the bison that we're going to see straight after have been on the planet for over 20,000 years. So that's before the Ice Age. So they're a very, very ancient animal. And how do we know that these animals have been on the planet for such a long time? Well, cave paintings in France show pictures or artwork of Przewozki's horses and the bison. So Przewozki's horses are also known as the Mongolian wild horse or the Taku horse. And yes, we're going to go up the hill and we're going to see our breeding herd. So they are the last of the wild horses. So they're not ridden generally, and they generally cannot be tamed, but they can be conditioned with food to hold up their hooves, for the keepers to check their hooves and things like that. So when we get closer to the horses, if everybody's bottom can be on a seat, please, when the bus stops, you're allowed to stand up, but every other bottom except mine has to be on the seat. Now, when we get up closer, have a look at these horses. They're having their lunch. And their manes are like a zebra's manes. They stand up straight, whereas a domesticated horse, their manes are very, very floppy. And they don't have a fringe or a forelock like domesticated horses. Oh! She's saying, get out of my backside. Did you see that, Matt? Just got a big kick in the face. And you would think they wouldn't be fighting over the food here because there's plenty of food. So they stand about 12 hands high. Have a look at their legs. Their legs are all that dark chocolate brown colour, and their coats are all that sandy colour. So as the bus is moving, if everybody can sit back down, please. Thank you. So that is our Przewozki's horses, or the Mongolian wild horse. So the next habitat that we're going into is the deer, the red deer and the bison. Now the deer is found on every continent except the Antarctic, so they're not doing it tough. But we like to have the deer here just in case people haven't seen deer. Some people in the Adelaide Hills think that the deer is a pest because they're everywhere.
Bison.
So we have a male. He has a beautiful set of antlers. Hopefully we will see him. And he loses those antlers once a year. They then take about 120 days to regrow. So they're the fastest growing tissue.
I see a bison.
You can see the bison? Excellent. But we're first of all going to swing around down this direction here and go and see the deer. And the white magpie. Who's ever seen a white magpie before? Okay, we're going to show the other people, hopefully, the white magpie. He's going to be on this side of the bus. He's right near the road, just here. That is a white magpie. And there's two breeding pairs here at Monarto Safari Park. I've never seen one until I started here. And then straight ahead, where I'm pointing, sitting down, is the male is the male red deer. Now he loses those antlers once a year after mating. If you could sit down, thank you, sir. And then they regrow. So for the first 8 years, they continue to grow until they get to a certain height. So that's our red deer. With all his female friends. Oh, I did forget to say, my mistake, if you could all put your phones to silent. Weigh 1 tonne. And I've actually seen the bison who literally weigh 1 tonne run and play chasey with the deer, because the bison can run up to 56 kilometres an hour. Who would think an animal that weighs a tonne could run that fast? And we've got a bison doing a great big wee, we've got bison on the road, and we've got the baby bison. But fabulous, we get a good opportunity. Can you see their scraggy coat? That's last year's winter coat. And what they do is they go up to trees and rocks and shrubs and they scratch themselves, and they scratch off that winter coat, and then they grow this year's winter coat. So we've got a baby that was born last November standing on the side of the road. And, well, yeah, standing on the road.
There's a mama too.
Do you know, they're not very good, they're a bit like the rhino that we're going to see shortly. They don't have very good eyesight, but they've got really good sense of smell, and they can smell water up to 12 kilometres away. Have a look at the hump on their neck here. That hump there is entire muscle, and it's to hold up their head. So in winter they use their head like a plough, and they plough through the snow and the grass to find grass and lichen. And they're having their lunch here. Now, do you know, boys and girls, when a bison eats food, so from the time it goes in the bison's mouth to when the bison does a big poo, takes 80 hours. So that's nearly 3 days from the time they eat to when they do a poo. And have a look out there, there's lots and lots of poo. And in that poo is the bison seed. If we could sit down, thank you. When it rains, the seed washes out of the poo and forms into trees and plants. Isn't that clever, that the bison's poo is so important to the environment? And they're both boys. Now, we don't put both boys out together because what would happen? They'd fight, exactly. So the females live in what's called a crash of rhinos, and the males live a solitary life. But we're going to see another black rhino in a moment. Now, they weigh about 1,500 kilos, whereas the white rhinos that we're going to see shortly are about 2 to 2,500 kilos. But sadly, this animal may be extinct in the wild in less than 5 years. These animals are poached 1 every 7 hours. So 1 every 7 hours is shot for their horn. And prior to that, a human is shot. So 3 humans and 3 rhinos lose their lives every day because of their horn. Because there's some really wacky people in this world that think that that horn is going to cure cancer, is going to make men virile, a whole lot of really wacky stuff like that. Because the horn just contains keratin. And keratin is our hair and our fingernails. So if you think that the rhino horn has got magical qualities, is going to cure cancer, I just suggest get your toenails, cut them, put them in a cup of hot water and drink it, because that's exactly the same benefit you'll get by consuming rhino horn. And a kilo of rhino horn on the black market fetches 75,000 Australian dollars.
So why does he have a big bum?
He's having a big sleep.
He's having skins because they don't have hands like us to go and itch ourselves if we're a bit itchy. So they cover themselves with mud to help stop insects biting them. Now, and here we're going to see the black buck and the Mesopotamian fellow deer. So on the door side here, you will see the black buck. And they come from places like Bangladesh, Pakistan and India. And there's one male, and it's his job to look after all the females and the young. And he's down with the other group, okay. Oh. So we're going over to find the male in a moment because he's got spiral horns. So that is the black buck, and they're all females, but we're going to try and show you the male because he's got beautiful coiled horns.
Straight ahead.
I see them.
Okay, so have a look on Matt's side. In this group here, just towards us, you can see his spiraled horns. He's got his backside to us and he's looking towards the Nyala. So the Nyala are the animals in the behind the fence over there. So he's just put his head down, I think. And more black buck over there and a couple of little babies. The bus, you'll see the giraffes, don't worry about that, but you won't see the Tassie Devils from the bus. Now, would anybody like to hop off at this bus stop?
I do.
Black buck and the Mesopotamian deer, and they were very charcoal colour. They were big animals. They're the males. When we go through the gate here, if you see the females, they look like little bongos. They're a completely different colour. The females are completely different to the males. They've got a red coat with white stripes.
Somebody can sit behind you.
Gonna see some.
Too heavy.
I don't know, they look like ostrich.
We do. We have ostriches, elands, giraffes and zebras. But the Nyalas are underneath the platform. You get a better view of them when you're actually on top of the platform. But we may see them. And we've got the keeper out there, maybe putting up some browse for the giraffe's lunch. Now, giraffes, they are the tallest of all lander animals. So the male giraffes can get up to 6 metres tall, females up to about 5 metres tall. And a group of giraffes is called a tower of giraffes.
An ostrich up there. Ostrich.
Now, the print on the coat of a giraffe is like our fingerprints. No one coat is the same. And that's some of the reasons that we can actually tell them apart. But we've actually got 2 giraffes that are pregnant, which is really exciting.
Can you see this wrong?
And that is baby Camille. Now she's 12 months old. When she was born, her mum didn't bond with her, so we had to hand raise her with giraffe milk. But now she's on solids, and she's very, very friendly with the keepers because she has been hand raised. That is one of the pregnant giraffes over here where I'm pointing. Now in the wild, giraffes stand to sleep. They sleep at about 20 minutes at a time with one eye open and one eye shut. They also give birth standing up. Because if you think about it logically, they've got very long legs. If a lion or a leopard or another predator comes along, it takes them a long time to stand up. So this is why in the wild they'll stand up to give birth and to sleep. And they need to be on the lookout all the time. Whereas at Monarto, you may actually see them sitting down because they know that there's no predators here. They've got a really, really long tongue. Their tongue is 45 centimetres and the colour of their tongue is blue-black. Any idea why they don't have a pink tongue? Anybody got an idea? No? Well, their tongue is what's called a prehensile tongue. So their tongue is out of their bodies grabbing their food, a prehensile tongue. If it was pink, really big hearts, their heart is shaped like a basketball and weighs 12 kilos because their heart has to pump the blood right up to the top of their head. Now, boys and girls, what size poo do you reckon a giraffe does? Can you show me with your hands? Tiny, tiny. Any other guesses? Tiny. Well, the size of your fist. Well, have a look outside on this side in particular. Do you like fruit chops, madam? Yeah, fruit chops. They're the size of a fruit chop, tiny. So the ladies down the back, the young people, you got the answer. Well done. Tiny poos. And the reason why their poo is tiny is that they've got a stomach, they've got 4 stomachs like a cow. So they chew and chew and chew their cud. Very little poo comes out. Oh, here's our male and female ostrich. So the black one is the male and the charcoal collar is the female. And the reason for that is that ostriches co-parent. Generally, the female sits on the nest during the day, so she's that charcoal color, and the male sits on the nest at night, hence the black color. And they both bring up the babies together, whereas you remember we talked about the emu? It's the father emu that brings up the chicks, whereas with the ostriches, they co-parent.
Look at the zebra.
You found the zebra.
You'd be happy. Where's the zebra? Oh, there's our zebras. Do you know a group of zebras is called a dazzle of zebras? And the reason why they're called a dazzle of zebras is in the bright sunlight in Africa, they will all stand together in a huddle if a leopard comes along and wants to eat a zebra. And the bright light in Africa and all those stripes make it very difficult for a predator to pick out one particular zebra. So that's how they protect themselves from predators, is to stand together in a dazzle of zebras. And further up the hill, having a bit of a sit down, is our elands. And they are the tallest of all antelopes. They can jump from a standing position 2 meters. So we've had to build very high fences. And we've got the zebras going to visit the elands. In Africa, these antelopes are highly prized because their milk can stay out of the refrigeration for up to 3 days. So a great source of protein for African communities who don't have fridges.
So,
Now this homestead or house up here is the last homestead of the Bretic family. They were the last farming family to live here. It comprises of 2 rooms, and in those 2 rooms until the 1950s lived Grandma, Mum and Dad and 4 kids. The kids used to ride their ponies to school. There was no running water, gas, electricity, nothing. So, and get a closer look of the male, and you won't see the 3 females from the bus here. You just got to walk up a path. It literally will take you a minute to go up and see the 3 females. Would anybody like to hop off here and get a closer look at the white rhinos? You do?
Not today.
No?
Not today.
Nobody wanting to get off? So, white rhinos, if you're all staying on the bus, we've got 3 females in the boma and that 1 male. He's just recently arrived from another zoo. Dubbo, thank you. Do you know his name, Matt? Starts with I. That's all I can remember. And he's a big fella, and he's been brought over specifically to mate and diversify the genes. So he's looking very eagerly at the females, and Matt tells me last week the male was physically introduced to the females. Year's time because of the poaching. We've talked about they're not exactly white, but they get their name from the African word vite, and vite means wide open mouth. Now this is the male that's been brought over, and he's particularly interested in the females behind the boma there. Some interesting mating habits about rhinos. It's the female that decides if she will mate or not. If that male does not show her respect, if he doesn't display the right behaviours, if he's too aggressive or too timid, she goes, it ain't happening. Because she needs to look at him and go, will you be do you have good genetics for my babies? So it takes about 16 months for a rhino in gestation to be born, and then a baby is born between 45 and 60 kilos. The baby will put on 3 kilos of weight a day, so will drink up to about 18 litres of milk. But let me tell you some really great news. Australia is getting 60 white rhinos as part of the insurance policy because we're so worried because of the poaching that these animals will become extinct. Monarto Safari Park, the largest open-air safari park outside of Africa, is going to have the largest crash of rhinos outside of Africa. We're getting 30 of the 60. We've already, I know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? We've already built their night quarters, but COVID has delayed them coming over. They'll leave Africa and come to New Zealand, where they have to quarantine for 12 months and then come to us. Oh, have a look at that big pile of poo there. Oh, we've got a cheetah at the fence. Just this big pile of poo, that's Twitter, Instagram, newspaper for the rhinos. They taste it, they smell it, they eat it. That gives them all the information. They've got hormone receptors in their head that tells them who's ready to mate, who's been in their territory, things like that. That pile of poo is very important if you're a rhino. But we've got a cheetah pacing. Why is that? So over here there's emus in the Serengeti, and so that cheetah is going, now how can I get to those emus? Do you know emus can see up to cheetahs can see up to 5 kilometres in the distance? So the shape of their head, the black markings under their eyes and the lens in their eyes means that they can see 5 kilometres. So that cheetah isn't sitting there just meditating. They're trying to work out how to get to the emus.
Big cat.
Having a bit, oh look, she's airing herself. You're probably aware that they're the fastest of all land animals.
Did you see the cheetah?
They can run faster than you're allowed to drive on the freeway, up to 127 kilometres an hour. They've been clocked. Boys and girls, can you count for me down the back how many spots that cheetah's got? And tell me. Big boys, how many spots? 2,000. Who said that? Well done. What's your name? Piper. Big round of applause for Piper. Piper got the right answer. Each cheetah has got about 2,000 spots. And Piper, where are some of their spots hidden? Piper? On their tummy. So they have lots of spots on their back, but they have lots of spots on their tummy. So well done, Piper. Now this string that you can see out there, that's called a lure. So the keepers every so often will get that lure up and running so that the cheetah can go for a great big run, because they're very, very fast. They need to exercise, but they can only run for about 3 minutes at a time. Then they have to lie down and cool down. So they've got big hearts, big lungs, but they're not endurance animals like the African painted dogs that we're going to see shortly. And if you come back today in an hour's time, you'll see the cheetah having some afternoon tea, like a yummy turkey neck or a yummy chicken neck for afternoon tea.
Eat the balls.
Ah, thank you, Matt. So there's Quarterly. She's just, see the log? Go to the tree behind the log, and she's looking this way. No, sorry, she's looking the opposite way. You can see her ears, and she's licking herself like a cat does.
Can you see it?
Can you see her where I'm pointing? Look on the ground, behind the log, underneath the tree. That's Quarterly. You may be aware from the newspaper or the media that we've recently had 2 cubs born. They're not out on display, but in coming months they will be on display. So in the wild, the females, a bit like the emus, they lead a solitary life. If they have babies, the babies will live with them for up to 2 years. But then the males will live in what's called a coalition of cheetahs. So the males live together, but the females lead a solitary life.
Bison not bumpy.
You eat chickens.
In the wild, cheetahs are doing it tough. They're losing their habitat due to urbanisation and farming. And you know, oh, there's one down here at the fence line down where I'm pointing, so we will get a closer look. But Zoos SA have partnered with a lot of African communities and introduced Anatolian dogs. And the reason for that is that until we introduced Anatolian dogs, the farmers would shoot the cheetahs, because the cheetahs, there we go, just down here, the cheetahs would be taking the farmers' goats and sheep. And the farmers' kids weren't going to school because they were staying, just look on the ground, go post 1, post 2. So between post 2 and post 3, you'll see her sitting on the ground. So we've introduced these dogs, and what do dogs do? They bark, the cheetah runs away. The farmer doesn't shoot the cheetah because the dogs are doing all the work to guard the goats and the sheep. The farmer's kids can go to school, so it becomes a win-win situation and a way of saving this animal from extinction by introducing Anatolian dogs. And those dogs are big dogs that come from Turkey. Gentleman down the front asked if we are government owned. We've talked about we're a not-for-profit charity. So between Adelaide Zoo and Monarto Zoo, we have about 500 volunteers. So volunteers are like myself who come on the bus and give some commentary about our animals. So there's a group of people like me that do this. There's some other volunteers that go out and revegetate the grounds and plant trees and shrubs and do the watering. Then we have another group of volunteers that will make enrichment toys for the animals or cut up the animals' food. So just as an example, on Christmas Day, every animal gets a present, all wrapped up in Christmas paper. And so for example, the cheetahs will get turkey necks, and they've got to work out how to open the box to get their turkey necks. The chimpanzees, they may get, if it's a really hot day, green tea ice blocks. The lions and the carnivores may get blood ice blocks. And the giraffes, they get carrot ice blocks on a hot day. So the volunteers will make those sorts of enrichment toys for the animals. So if anybody's interested in becoming a volunteer, head off to the Zoo's SA website. You do need to be over 18 because the zoos are always encouraging people to become volunteers. Now we're heading into the carnivore area, and it is absolutely critical that you must remain seated and follow any direction by myself or Matt. And the reason why we say that you must remain seated is that the hyenas or the dogs like to chase the buses. I will point out that we may not be doing a whole loop of this area. The painted dogs, one of the dogs is due to give birth, and so the keepers have cordoned off an area. So I just need to have a look and see what's happening when we go through these gates. So we may not get to do a full loop because it's important that we keep our animals quiet if they are about to give birth. So about a 5 to 8 year old, they can problem solve, and they are female dominated. So it's one of the few species where it's the female that decides exactly what's happening, and the males. Can you see? Where's the dogs? Ah, okay. So straight ahead, we'll skip straight to the African painted dogs. They've all popped their heads up, but we can't stop. See how there's logs across the road here? That's been put there because one of them is going to give birth at some stage. So have a look at their ears. Their ears are like Mickey Mouse. They've got very round ears, and they look like they went to Bunnings yesterday and had paint thrown all over them. There used to be 25,000 in Africa, but there's less than 6,500 in the wild now. That's a great view of them all sitting up there. Now they're very, very family orientated. When they wake up every morning in their family, so boys and girls don't do this at home because your mum and dad would be pretty cross, but they wee all over each other. And the reason why they wee all over each other, it's then they know when they go out hunting who's in their family group. And they go out hunting in packs of 50 to 60. So they've got big family groups. This is their den here. And when they catch an animal, let's say it's an antelope, they'll gorge on that animal. They'll then go back to their house or to their den, and anybody who's old or sick or injured, they'll vomit up that food or regurgitate that food. And a lot of people go, ooh, yuck. But think about it, how smart are they? Because other animals, if they're injured in the wild, it's how sad, too bad, they're left to die. But these dogs, they look after everybody in their family. Isn't that clever?
Can you see the other one? Yes.
Two of the older female lions, or the aunties as we call them, with 3 of the juvenile cubs, which are now 2 years old, sitting there. In the pride of lions, we've also got 3 males that have been brought over by the Werribee Zoo specifically to mate with these lionesses. And then we've got mum and the cubs somewhere. And of course, because these are wild animals, we can't actually guarantee that you will see them. What? We've got a male on the road, have we? So there's our there's our 5 females over there, having a bit of a smooch. So I've got 2 people down the front trying to spot where the cubs are and the male lions. But keep your eyes peeled.
See that light trees along? Trees?
Trees by the road.
Road. They're right behind there.
So lions are doing it tough in the wild because people are still going out and trophy shooting, paying 100,000 Australian dollars to go and shoot a lion. Okay, we've got mum ahead of us.
What's that?
So mum is on that side of the bus. So here she is. This is the mum. So the cubs must be fairly close by. So if we can sit down when the bus is moving, we'll do our very best to try and find the cubs. But as I said, when the bus is moving, every bottom has to be on a seat except mine. In front of the night quarters is the 3 males. We also have 2 older males. We don't let them out with the females because the bloodlines are too close. So this whole area is the same size as Adelaide Zoo. What we do is we put the pride of lions to bed at night, and then we let the older males out to roam around during the evening, and they love that because there's lots of new smells, and then we swap them about in the morning. So these are our 3 brothers from the Werribee Zoo that are brought over specifically to mate with the females.
For sleepy.
Males are not born with manes. They develop those manes at about the age of 2 years old. So the darker the mane, so like this one over where I'm pointing that's a little further away from the brothers, that's usually the alpha male. The darker the mane, the more dominant they are and more attractive generally, not in all cases, but generally to females. They're not doing a lot, but this is exactly what happens in the wild. They're like your domesticated cat. They sleep 20 hours a day. So in the 4 hours that they're awake, this is when they go hunting. It's the female that goes hunting. She brings the kill in. It's the male that eats first, then the female, and then the cubs. So that the cubs eating last is one of the many reasons why cubs don't grow up to be big lions, is they are often the last to eat. They're also taken by bad people. They're sometimes taken away from their mothers to go into circuses and family pets, things like that. So it is quite difficult for lions to reach adulthood. So that's why we're really pleased that we've had several litters of cubs here.
You don't see the cubs.
We don't feed our carnivores every day because in the wild they don't get fed every day. So Monday and Wednesdays are starvation days, and if we fed them every day they would become overweight. People often ask, is there any live feeding of animals? The answer is no. It's illegal. Oh, just look over there. You'll see the second story of the hotel that is opening in the end of this year. We're also going to be having glamping. We're going to be having open air safaris, like in the morning and the night. We're going to be having a walk-in lemur enclosure, hippopotamuses, but we'll never have elephants because elephants require 250 litres of water a day. And Adelaide's a really hot place, isn't it? We don't have a lot of water because we are the driest state in the driest continent. So because elephants require lots and lots of water to drink and then lots of water to swim in and lots of land, we'll never have elephants because it wouldn't be the right thing to do, is not to be able to mimic exactly their environment in Africa. But we do have water straight ahead here, and that water is disinfected water. Every time a vehicle goes through the lion enclosure, we have to have a wheel wash because you see the lions have a feline virus that if it gets to the cheetahs and the African painted dogs, they'll get really, really sick.
Yes, the gift shop. Do magneta here.
Welcome to Safari Shop. Purchase a souvenir and help conservation. Stop in at the Safari Shop in the Visitor Center or the smaller shop at the Outpost D11. Proceeds go towards saving animals for extinction. Don't forget, members receive a discount.
More anak.
Yeah, you can give me one pad.
Stop by for refreshments. The main cafe is located on the ground floor of the Visitor Center. The Outpost Cafe is open during peak periods only.
Plenty of drinks already.
So, that's it guys. That's our Monarto Safari Park dito sa South Australia. So, nakita nyo kanina guys, may visitor center sila. Spacious ang parking lot, parking space nila dito. And then, they open 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, the last bus leaving the visitor center at 3 p.m. So, nakita nyo guys, meron silang walking tracks if you're keen for a walk, guys. So, mahaba-haba yung walk nila. Yung first walk dito, medyo malapit lang. Yung mga second, third, medyo malayo-layo na, guys. Kung hindi kayo makapaghintay sa bus. But, if you want to take a bus, they have line or queue for the bus. So, makikita nyo, malaki yung bus. Talagang, yung normal bus lang, guys. So, madaming people na pwedeng capacity ng bus dun sa loob. So, kapag nag-bus kayo, guys, makikita nyo kung yung buong Monarto Safari Zoo, yung mga wild animals, and then they have a tour guide there na nakita nyo kanina sa video natin. And then, you can interact with different animals. You can experience animals, guys. Animal experience. They also have a time slot and the day which animals will be like this, will be kung anong gagawin ng animals, guys. So, ayun na nga, guys. So, this is my first time in Monarto Safari Zoo and I do highly recommend this for your kiddos, children, and for a family friendly too also, guys. So, maganda siya. Maganda rin yung presyo and I will put the prices here. So, mahal talaga siya guys. But if you will be a annual member, like us, Jax and I, nag-register kami and we fill up for a membership. So, meron kaming card. So, we have a card of zoo membership. So, yung card namin na yon, dito yung mga zoo sa Australia, different states, pwede kaming pumasok doon nang nakita nyo close up yung mga animals. Wild animals lang dito guys, kasi hindi pwede yung mga animals with the water. So, kasi dito, mainit dito sa Monarto area, and live with the heat. So, more heat talaga dito. Wala sila, medyo less ang mga rain dito sa side ng Monarto. They don't have a elephant because they don't have enough rain, they don't have enough water. So, ayun na nga, yung iba, hindi nila pinapakawalan sa wild kasi nga, may mga hunters na, kumukuha ng mga horns nila, medyo exotic na sila. So, endangered na in short. So, hindi na sila pinapakawalan, dito na lang sila sa Monarto Safari Zoo, guys. So, ayun na nga, guys. Anyway, highway, maganda siya, guys. Maganda siya malaki kasi we've been in different zoo here in Australia and in other countries. Like in Singapore, if you've been in Singapore, guys, very good. Especially, meron din silang shuttle dun sa Singapore Zoo. So, they also have a night zoo in Singapore, and I highly do recommend to yun. Pero dito sa Monarto Zoo Safari Park, it's a very wide range. So, it's an open range. Like the one in Werribee. So, eto, mas malawak siya, mas malaki siya, guys. So, ayun na nga, guys. Anyway, highway, if you're in Australia and if you will go to South Australia like Adelaide, or you're in Mount Gambier, or in every part of Australia, whenever you are, so, pwede kayo sa Monarto Safari Zoo, guys. Monarto Safari Park. So, ayun na nga, guys. That's the end of our Monarto Safari Park for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. You had fun for today. And you learned something today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting my videos. And mga shoutout to each wonderful, beautiful people of the universe. Thank you from the bottom of my hypothalamus. Please like if you did enjoy my video for today. And please do subscribe if you haven't yet. And don't forget to hit the bell button for you to get notified on my next video. And please comment down below if you like this video po. And see you on my next one. Bye bye guys. Be good. You take care. Be safe. And ciao.